Welcome back. I'm Emily at Emily's podcast, Tribute to All Little Angels, Part 9, Episode 2 of the Timeline. As I ended Part 9, Episode 1 last week, when I finished, I read, "One day your hard work will pay off and your dream will come true." And I thought, wow. Then I looked to see who wrote it, and I thought, how did she know? Because my dream to come true is for this city to fix this cemetery for everyone in Babyland 6th West. And be honest, Saint Mother Teresa, thank you. February 8, 2024. I'm out this afternoon running errands. It is a beautiful day, 69 degrees. On my last stop, I stopped at a store where I buy my dairy products, and while leaving the store, I get this gut feeling to go to the cemetery. I thought, I will after I take the milk and ice cream home and I get something to eat. I did just that. I went home, I put the milk and ice cream away, I ate, and when I was done, I left for the cemetery. 4:04 p.m., I pull in at the cemetery and I text Madison. She replies. I drive back to visit Wyatt. I park and I get out to sit with him. I pray to him. And shortly after, I walk away. I walk through the pavilion, and as I walk out the other side, I spot a white half-flower petal laying in the grass to my left. I thought about it a second, and I look again, and it looks like a half of a heart. So I picked it up, I folded it in half, and I put it in my front right pocket. I took a couple more steps, and a balloon, a small holiday balloon, is sliding across the grass as the wind is blowing it to the right of me. I looked, and at first I thought the balloon said happy birthday. But when I looked closer, it read, Happy Valentine Day. I thought just a split second, whose is this? I look and I didn't see any headstones with flowers on them because the flowers were removed at the beginning of the month. And I'm not sure where this balloon belongs. I then have a feeling in the pit of my stomach, it's for you. And I thought, should I keep it? And I only stood there a matter of a second, but the feeling is getting stronger. Take it with you. So I did. I kept it. I got back in the car and I took a picture of it and I sent it to Madison. I then video called her, but she didn't answer. And then she called me back. I told her the story as I'm pulling up to visit with Megan, and I prayed to her and I took pictures. When I got back in the car, I had to sit and just cry. I thank my angels, and I believe this is why I got that gut feeling to come to the cemetery. And it is so odd because this morning when I read my daily word, it said, when I pay attention to my feelings and pay heed to what my intuitions is telling me, I am using my divine gift of wisdom. My inner knowing, my gut feelings are nudges from spirit. I move in the direction of my greatest growth. I trust my inner wisdom, the voice of God within. And thank you, Wyatt and Megan. Thank you, God. and happy Valentine's Day to you both. I then pull around to visit Megan, and as I pull up, I take a picture of the full view area, Babyland 6th West. Megan's cross and flowers are here, so that is good. In the next picture, it's of the southeast headstone, the rock headstone, and the headstones to the north, to the south, and to the west. In the third picture in Megan's area, I take a picture from the west to the east of the rock headstone area. And yes, the lines on both sides of this rock is visible. In the next picture, it's a close picture of Megan's wooden cross and her flowers. And in the last two pictures, it's of the area to the north of the tree, the existing tree, the south tree, as it can be proven. And then when I leave the cemetery and I get home, I took my old milk jar and I stuck the Valentine balloon in it, and it will sit on my table until after Valentine's Day. Have a great evening. February 9th, 2024, 6:55 a.m. I see on my phone as I turn it on, when I am weak, God is strong. So I get up and start my day, because how can I argue with that? I did start my day, and as my morning hours turns to afternoon and my afternoon turns to evening, I start to write an episode for this week's podcast. And then on February 10th, 2024, after waking up, I finished writing the episode. I had 7 more pages to write, and I did get it done. I haven't reread or timed it yet, but I will. After I relaxed for a short time, I went to the cemetery to check on things. Madison met me here. She rearranged the flowers in Megan's area. There is a green orb in this first picture and a sun glow shining down just behind Madison. In the second picture, it's of Megan's flowers and cross close up. And in the third picture, Madison sets a heart-shaped box of chocolates near Megan's flowers. And in the fourth picture, Madison rearranges the flowers again to make sure they are securely stuck in the ground. In the fifth picture, Madison is standing over Megan's cross and her flowers. And the sixth picture, it's a picture taken from the east of the blue and white Babyland 6th West sign, the tree, Megan's cross and flowers, and of course headstones that should not be where they are at. And then in the next picture is of the southeast headstone, the rock headstone, and the headstones beyond this area. The 8th and 9th picture is a full view picture of the Babyland 6th West area. And when we were done, we went to visit Wyatt. Madison also set his heart-shaped box of chocolates at his headstone. She stuck the chocolates inside the bouquet of flowers. I then took a picture of Madison standing behind Wyatt's headstone. And then the next picture is of Wyatt's headstone as we are walking away. We drove back by Megan's area and then left the cemetery. When I return home, I eat dinner, and then I write in the screenplay. And wow, all I can say is, the more I write the screenplay, the more I want to write it to get it done. February 11th, 2024. Thank you, God. This morning, after getting up and eating breakfast, I did unwrap my wounded finger and let it air out. It is looking better. It looks bruised under the nail, and the fingernail looks as though it's ready to fall off. And man, it makes me mad I am going through this. And why in the heck was I even out there trying to do a man's job? But anyway, my fingertip is shattered, and I do know not to do that again. At 3:33 p.m., Madison sent me a couple pictures of the grand dogs, Daisy, Nala, and the little puppy. Made my afternoon. And then later this evening, it is raining. It looks to be hail balls from the front window and on the security camera. And just in about 40 minutes, the car is covered and so is the grassy areas. And by 8:30 p.m., the car is covered in snow and the streets are too. And the next morning, February 12th, 2024, 7:29 a.m., I checked the cameras and yes, we are covered in snow. It seems to be heavier on the grass and vehicles than on the streets, although the tracks in the snow on the streets are visible to see, but not much. Then at 10:49 a.m., the sun is shining and the snow is melting away. And as the afternoon carried through, the snow melts more and more. And by 4:04 p.m., things are clear again from snow. And because of this weather we've had, I'm able to reread the episode and time it. I also am going to try to record later this evening. And I did that because I had to, because I had forgotten Carla, my great niece, and I are going to a Valentine tea party tomorrow afternoon. So I did have to get it done. February 13th, 2024. I thank God the second my eyes opened. I didn't lay here long, and when I got up, I had a light breakfast so I can go to lunch and tea with Carla. At 11:32 a.m., Carla sends me a picture of her wearing two different pair of shoes. She asked, which one looks better? And of course, I told her the boots. And then a short time later, I leave to pick Carla up. At 12:22 p.m., we are sitting at this quaint little tea room, and I love coming here. So many good teas. I took a few pictures of our visit, and we did have a good time. When I dropped Carla back off at home to get ready to go to work, I went to visit Madison and my granddogs. I went to visit Nala especially because it's her birthday. Madison bakes her a doggy cake, and I take each one of my baby dogs a chew toy and party hats. I also brought them a box of treats, and Madison a box of chocolates, a heart-shaped dish, and a couple of Valentine hand towels. I visit with the dogs in Madison, and then Madison puts the dogs in their cage, and it's almost like they look as though they performed something, an act, and now they are sitting there waiting on an applaud. They are the funniest little dogs. And then a little while later, I leave and I went home. And I thank God for this day. February 14th, 2024. Waking up to a happy day, a day full of love. Happy Valentine. My day gets started, and for some reason, I'm carrying a heavy heart. At 3:15 p.m., I decide to go to the cemetery because of the rain we've had. I pull up to Megan's area because when it rains, this area seems to get it the worst, even after the drains being fixed in 2019. And yes, there are puddles of water laying throughout the cemetery and in Babyland 6th West. Megan's flowers are here, and that is nice. I took 10 pictures of her area. Then I went to visit Wyatt. When I leave the cemetery a short time later, Madison and I meet at a restaurant to eat dinner for Valentine. And thank you, Madison. And now, after I get home, I'm sitting reflecting on the afternoon and that heavy feeling I'm feeling. And I felt it at the cemetery too. It's almost like I'm being told something. Then, as I sit thinking about the day, I get this feeling to write the investigative journalist who is covering the case in Georgia. Write him a letter explaining my case. So at 8:03 p.m., I write a letter, and when I finish with it, I look up all the information I could find on this investigative journalist. Then I made a checklist. Patty, my friend, offers to write a letter too. My sister Susie is to send out emails, and I write a letter to the investigator in Georgia. And we upload pictures. And now I pray something works. I pray one of them gets a letter and we get a response. When I'm done, I went to bed. And as I close my eyes, I am teared up. I pray God hears my prayers. February 15th, 2024. A new day to try to relax. The episode aired last night and our numbers did move up of who is listening, and it is so appreciative. February 16th, 2024. Happy heavenly birthday to my angel boy. I start my day to get ready to go to the cemetery. And at 2:32 p.m., Madison and I meet at the cemetery. We have gone to the store to buy balloons to release and a little trinket for Wyatt's headstone. We do the same for Megan on his birthday too, and Wyatt on Megan's birthday. When we get to the cemetery, we park on the east-west street closest to Wyatt's area. There is a white aura in the picture as we release the balloons. The balloon, one of the balloons, is stuck in the tree nearby, and Madison walks over to try to let it loose. The white orb is in this picture too. We then walk over to visit Wyatt. We sing happy birthday to him. Madison sets his trinkets down in the flowers, and then I took a picture of Wyatt's headstone. Then I took one of Madison standing behind Wyatt's stone. Madison then took a picture of me standing at Wyatt's headstone also. And as we walk away a short time later, I turned and took another picture of his headstone. And no, Madison could not get the balloon out of the tree. And then we pull around to visit Megan. And the first picture I take is of the full view picture of Babyland 6th West area. And I also took a picture of the southeast headstone, the rock headstone, and the headstones to the north, west, and a few to the south. Madison is again rearranging Megan's flowers in the next picture, and just to make sure they stay stuck in the ground. Then I took a picture of an up close of Megan's flowers and cross, and then I took a picture of Madison standing behind, or west, I should say, of Megan. Then Madison took a picture of me west of Megan's cross and flowers. And when we were done, we leave the cemetery and I go home. When I arrive home, I start writing an episode after I eat dinner. And I wrote about 11 pages and I set it aside for the night. February 17th, 2024. Thank you, God, for waking me. After I start my day, I finish writing the episode, and when I was done, I did reread it and timed it. When I finish, I have to drive to Piedmont, Oklahoma to help a friend, so my afternoon is occupied today. Everyone have a great day. February 18th, 2024. Thank you, God. Good morning. I'm going to enjoy the day, clear my mind. I did do a drive-through through the cemetery and all looks good, so I didn't stay long. When I leave the cemetery, I took a drive around the lake, spent some time outside, and a few hours later I went home to relax and then said good night. February 19th, 2024. This morning in my mind, I'm thinking I need to record today. So everyone have a great day. February 20th, 2024. Thank you, God, for this day. Thank you for me getting the episode recorded, and I do believe it sounds good, and I pray the listeners think so too. I start my day, and this afternoon I went to the cemetery. At 12:42 p.m. I walk up to Wyatt's area. I snap a couple pictures of his headstone, and then I pull around to visit Megan. As I'm pulling up, I take a picture of the full view of Megan's area, Babyland 6th West, and then in the next three pictures, it's of the southeast headstone to the rock headstone and headstones to the west. Then I take a picture of the same area of the southeast headstone area, but from the west to the east. The next picture is an up-close picture of Megan's cross and her flowers, and I am happy they are still here. In the fifth picture, it's of Babyland 6th West, the blue and white Babyland 6th West sign, the tree, then Megan's flowers and cross west of the tree, and then headstones to the south of the tree, which is so wrong because these headstones belongs to the north of this tree, the existing tree. The sixth picture is a full view area from the electrical pole to the heart headstones in Babyland 6th West. The seventh picture, it's a picture of the lineup from the small newly set in drain in 2019 to the black and white Babyland sign, to the double headstones, the blue and white Babyland 6th West sign, the tree, Megan's cross and flowers, and then on back to the west, the newly set in headstone, set in also in 2019, and headstones to the south and to the north. In the next picture, it's of the same area, but from the electrical pole. And in the last picture from this day, I take a picture from just south of the tree, the south tree, the existing tree, to the headstones north to where the north tree stood at one time. A storm cracked it in half, then it was cut out by the city. After I left the cemetery, I went home and a thought came to mind. So I sat to write the letter out off of the paper. I wrote it on. I typed it onto the computer to send an email to the attorney out of Georgia on that cemetery case. I finished at 4:01 p.m. and I do feel satisfied of writing it. It is ready to send. When I was finished, I put the flower tea bag in my tea kettle and I sat to enjoy a cup of tea or two. And I thank God for this day and the idea to write this letter. And now, before I end this episode, just a friendly reminder. We, myself and my family, even after the day of the digging and the cremation, my family does not know 100% for positive that we have Megan setting on our shelf. Thank you for listening. Stay kind with your words.